The persistent threat of cash-in-transit robberies remains a critical concern in South Africa. However, the Cash-in-Transit Association of South Africa is committing to a determined effort to continue the downward trend in these brazen robberies. The combination of high rates of crime, poverty, and unemployment make insecurity an overriding concern throughout society. The brash confidence of violent criminals is vividly illustrated by the very public phenomenon of cash-in-transit hijacks, known here simply as CIT. Security vans carrying money are rammed off busy daytime roads by deliberate attacks with vehicles, with guards set upon by heavily armed men who use bombs to blow open safes. But not all money is stolen in the street with heavy gunfire. Sometimes the people who are meant to guard the money are the ones stealing it. This doesn't require blowing up safes to access the cash, but a sophisticated scheme that is so silent, it goes on for months undetected. The loss of 1.3 million rands, which went missing from ATMs over 6 months, while 9 G4S guards were responsible for transporting the cash, resulted in their dismissal, as they could provide no explanation for the shortfall. The Labour Court overturned an arbitration finding which found their dismissal following a disciplinary hearing to be unfair. G4S Security Solution brought a review application against Labour Union NUMSA, which acted on behalf of the 9 employees. The matter related to deliveries carried out by all the employees as custodians on behalf of Capitec for the period January to June 2019. During this time, there was a shortage of 1.3 million rands in respect of the ATMs that could not be accounted for. These shortages led to a number of individual claims made by Capitec for cash shortages, for which G4S was then held liable. A detailed investigation followed relating to the entire cash handling process and specifically related to any employee handling cash, such as the custodians, sorting tellers, the cash clearing employees in the box room and vaults. In terms of G4S Security Solutions' internal processes, all employees involved on the Capitec contract were polygraphed. Employees who indicated deception in their polygraphs were removed from cash handling duties and were then further investigated. This included the employees in this case. The outcome of the investigation revealed, according to G4S, that the cash shortages occurred at specific ATMs attended to by the employees, whilst the cash was in the custody and under their responsibility. The employees disputed whether the shortages were true shortages or false shortages. It was contended that it was unfair to demand that they had to account for cash shortages, and there was no duty on them to do so. It was also argued that Capitec updated its software at the time, and it was this software update that resulted in cash shortages being reflected at its various ATMs. The employees specifically pleaded that the problems experienced by them only arose after Capitec conducted the software update. All of the employees were individually charged with misconduct relating to gross negligence. The gross negligence charge for each of the employees was in essence the same, save for reflecting differences in routes, time periods, and losses involved, as it would pertain to each individual employee. All the charges recorded that they were unable to account for shortages they were responsible and accountable for. They were subsequently all dismissed based on gross negligence. The Labour Court noted on the undisputed facts, and in the period July 2019 to December 2019, when the employees were no longer on the ATM routes, the total cash shortages dropped by approximately 90%. Their dismissal was overturned on arbitration, which ordered their reinstatement with back pay. G4S was not satisfied with this outcome, leading to a review application. The Labour Court said the evidence showed that the correct amounts of cash, as reflected in the records of G4S, were at all times handed over to the employees to conduct their deliveries, and they signed acceptance that the cash amounts were correct. Evidence was also presented that all the ATM records for the period concerned were checked, and there were no technical faults with the ATMs. Therefore, should the employees be unable to account for the cash shortages by providing acceptable and reasonable explanation for the shortages, they committed the misconduct with which they had been charged. The employees could not and did not provide such an explanation, the court concluded. But the judgment notes that the judge specifically asked why a relatively straightforward matter required thousands of pages of documentation. As a point of departure, I am compelled to say that this matter has been overly complicated by the parties, said Acting Judge Snyman. It is a matter spanning thousands of pages, contained in some 30-level arch files, most of which were simply not necessary to decide the substance of this matter. The judge added that it was entirely undesirable for the court to be required to work through such extensive records when the dispute itself was straightforward. Had the parties just applied some focus and effort in putting together a proper review record, this could have been avoided.